The last time you saw us, we were busy in Pigeon Forge seeing bears, zebras, and deer. Check out parts 1 through 3 to see our travels from Florida through Georgia up to Wisconsin and all the way here to Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. Before we leave, here are some more fun things we did in Pigeon Forge. We've now reached the final part of our 2,500-mile road trip in our Tesla Model 3. And in part 4, we begin our travels back home to Florida. It's time to get charged up and say goodbye to the outrageous cabins. We are topping off at a supercharger on Teaster Lane in Pigeon Forge. We were trickle charging at the cabin, but we've also been driving all over town looking at things, so we needed a little extra boost before we head to the Asheville supercharger. The girls don't seem to mind because they're able to watch Netflix in the car, so it makes for an easy, quick stop. We were only here for probably about 10 minutes, and now we're ready to go.
7 hours driving on the highway, far away, far away, far away. Every moment I was spending on regrets was such a waste, such a waste, such a waste. Looking on the city lights, flashing bright in my eyes. Look up to the sky and I got this relief inside, then there's no need to hide. I'm going all the way up, I'm going all the way up, I'm letting go in my heart, of everything that holds me down, no. And it's feeling like I've been enough, I can feel the love, oh yeah, it's all around me. Oh, I need to know how I can make it, not afraid to fall, and perish it behind me, feeling like a stranger.
So a couple hours ago, we finally hit our 2,500-mile mark, and we made it that far without a major storm or anything, and now we just had one we drove through and they shut down I-95. So while we're in South Carolina and we're going to Florida, we are now getting rerouted and going through the countryside. But before that, we stopped in St. George at a Food Lion supercharger, and it was an interesting one because during this whole trip, we've also not seen a charging station that looked like that one. It had pull forward stalls for everybody, and there were quite a few. And
did you know that there's a lot to learn about supercharging etiquette? We plan to do some informative videos on this when we aren't traveling. However, a little context might be good here. Other superchargers had 1 or 2 pull-forward stalls. These are actually for someone who's pulling a trailer or a boat and therefore unable to back into the other charging stalls. Many people use them either because they are easier to pull into or because they don't see someone with a trailer, and understandably use them if the other stalls are full. However, if there are other stalls available, you should not be using the pull-forward stall unless you are towing something or it's the only open stall. Now, this supercharger in St. George, South Carolina had only pull-forward stalls, so anyone could use them. It was neat to see a different setup.
and then a Food Lion that had a bathroom that was like way in the back in the feed section where we all almost got lost. But we were able to charge for 28 minutes, and we only charged that long because we had to take all the kids to the potty. And we got 200 miles, and it cost us $17, which still beats anything we could do in our Pathfinder. So we'll update you as we continue, but it looks like we're taking a bit of a long way home. We were really on a roll on this very last day of our road trip. Here we are in Hardeeville, South Carolina. It is our last stop before making it home. The first charger we chose was not working. You can see it here on the right. When a charger is not working, it is common etiquette to place the charging cable across the top of the supercharger. This lets others know it is not working. That way they don't waste time trying to hook up to it. There is no need to report it because the Tesla network can see which chargers are online or not. Fortunately, there was another working charger here for us. We were afraid this might be a common problem for us on the road trip, but this is the only time we had a problem with a charger. The charging network was extremely efficient for us on this road trip. As we cart you around and show you a little of what North Florida has to offer, we do have some final thoughts. First of all, yes, the car, all of us, and the dog survived the almost 3,000-mile road trip. The kids behaved surprisingly well and didn't get burnt out on driving, which is probably because we incorporated so many stops. The dog loved the car so much that she practically dragged us to the car every time we got in it. However, she does have severe separation anxiety, so I think she is happy anytime she is with us and only panics that she might be left behind. She always went right to sleep and still loves to jump in now that we are home and we are just taking a quick trip to the park or to pick up pizza. She is small, only 20 pounds, so when I scooted my chair back, she had plenty of room. The car was great. The Tesla is Zach's car, and though I've always liked it, I definitely didn't have quite as much confidence in it as he did. However, now that we took the road trip in it, I can say I am a believer. It was a great car for road tripping, and with the exception that as a family of 5, I would probably like to have a bigger Tesla. We already have the Model Y on order, though. However, it was completely possible in the smaller car, especially if your kids are small like ours. We stopped posting the difference in cost between the Pathfinder and the Tesla because the gas prices have been fluctuating so much this summer. When we booked our Airbnbs, gas was almost $5 a gallon in Florida, the national average even higher. When we left, gas in Florida was about $4.30, and currently is at $3.40. But now that the trip is over, we do think it is helpful to have a comparison. So here's the comparison of costs based on the cost of gas in Florida at the time of the road trip. It is important to note that Florida was below the nation's average. You may want to calculate the cost based off of your own prices and the fuel economy of your car model. Here is a summary of our supercharging stats, as well as some more footage of us here in Florida. You ever heard the last of us? We will do day trips, cover Tesla features and tips, and there are even more larger road trips in our future too. So please click the subscribe button to follow along.